Man, what's up, world? It's your boy, the Toothless Wonder, back with another video. And if you notice, I'm really eager to get into this one, cause I think I done figured this shit out. Cause yeah. So all this, what I'm about to get into, was started by, okay, I hop on, YouTubials, and I see Vivica Fox, 60 years old. A bunch of people done covered it, talking about she looking for a boyfriend, right, or a husband or something like that at 60, right? And this like black auntie kind of thing is like becoming like a cultural norm. Like okay, the auntie who she's got a lot of money, uh she might have a nice car, but she's always dating some flunky type dude. You know what I'm saying? Or and then complain about the same type of guys that she ends up smashing. And it's just like that. And then, in a couple videos I covered how the high school, black high school girls here in my town in Maryland got together and said they're holding Freaknik in the projects, in which all these girls who had just graduated or were underage essentially were walking around with their butt cheeks out. And I ain't know nothing about it. And I'm like, yo, what the hell going on? I thought it was because of, well, partly the Memorial Day weekend thing, but it was crazy. Like, they looked like little porn stars, like literally. Then, I kind of started my YouTube journey like in the manosphere, the red pill content. And then I kind of got tired of just hearing about like, okay, I know, like, I don't like need to hear all the ways, women as a whole are jacked up. Like, so then I kind of moved on from that to more of, um, like, I guess red pill with more of an analytical, like, 'cause I got an analytical mind, so like dissecting it and, da da da. And then I had enough of that. And now I've kind of moved, I don't even want to say red pill manosphere, like to just applying spiritual principles in today's world. You know what I'm saying? Explaining how you should move, the nuances, do. Right. Excuse me, y'all. So, okay, cool, boom. So I'm like, all right, da da da. And of course, I understand as Babylon gets worse, the people get worse, so on and so forth. But I'm like, in light of the Vivica Fox joint, I'm like, it's just been countless, and these are supposed to be the creme de la creme. Now they're in probably a different realm of society, so they probably operate different, have different belief systems. But I remember, maybe a couple years back, I think the woman that played uh Jodie's mom on the movie Baby Boy, she basically went on a TV show or some interview and was talking about how she got tag teamed in France, and she was describing this like it was her crowning achievement of life. Like, she talked more about that in more like glowing terms than um any accomplishments in acting or in her personal life and all that. It was the fact that she got tag teamed by two French dudes in her 50s, right? And there's a lot of stuff that goes on in the black community that don't go on nowhere else. You know what I'm saying? Like our propensity or our fetish for obesity. You know what I mean? No one else does that. No one else outside of maybe, I guess, in corn uplifts the old hoe. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing in the black community. The big mama, the black auntie. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, yo, like, and then, in the age of information, such with social media, I'm under this firm belief that the information's out there. People are hearing the information either which way, but it's like they're doubling down and getting worse. And I'm like, that makes no logical sense to someone who's trying to operate in some semblance of sanity in an insane culture, right? And I had this epiphany, and I done figured this shit out, yo. And this piggybacks from a quote that I heard from Marcus Garvey saying that if the black man, i.e., black woman, drinks from the waters of Western civilization, it will die from its effects. I thought about that, and then I thought about in the word. I don't know what his, like, I guess religious beliefs were, but it parallels what's in the word where it says in the latter times, like the nations becoming drunk, or excuse me, I might be throwing these words around. The nations becoming drunk off the wine of the fornication of Babylon. Now, spiritually speaking, America is mystery Babylon. I'm thoroughly convinced of that. And then the light bulb, kind of, went to my head, like when, what was that, Johnny Appleseed, when he was sitting underneath the tree and the apple fell on his head and he had a great idea. That's what, like, I see people having these round tables, and I'm real not big on talking, because the talking doesn't lead to any action. We're just talking about the same problems. You know what I'm saying? And it really makes no sense for any logical group of people, male or female, to continue to operate otherwise. So I'm like, well, why are they still doing it? It's not, as we see, it's not benefiting them in any way, shape, form, or fashion. But yeah, we continue to do it. We're bombarded with information, to the contrary, but yet we disregard that. Like, why is that happening, yo? Why is it that even with all this information, we seem to be getting worse individually and as a collective? And then I made the connection. We're drunk off this culture. So what happens when someone drunk? When someone drunk, first of all, you can't talk to them. It's impossible to get through to someone who's under the influence. You see what I'm saying? Typically, drunk people are delusional. They're operating on a different frequency. You see what I'm saying? When people are drunk, typically, one of the first things, they lose their inhibitions. All this is what we're seeing now play out with these belief systems or these talking points or these movements. It all has a spiritual root in society. And that's why no one seemingly wants to or can, I guess, change behavior, whatever, because everyone drunk off the culture and the society here in Mystery Babylon. I just saw the shit. And because it's spiritual, in mass, we won't see any, mass kind of enlightenment other than certain individuals who are of a spiritual ilk or desiring things spiritually. Typically, when you're drunk, you see shit that ain't there. And I'm an alcoholic, so I can make this connection, this parallel. You know what I'm saying? It's real to you, but it's not real in reality. You see what I'm saying? And now I done figured it out, because when I was working at the rehab, and I would talk to the sisters and, not try to like tell them what to do, but like, nah, look at it this way, or whoop the whoop. And they couldn't really argue with what I was saying, but they would still continue to do it. They're drunk. Here's another one. When you drunk, typically you don't listen to anything sound. But if someone come with some super spectacular idea, you're like, yeah, that'll work. Your faculties are gone. Typically you lose your sense of direction or your equilibrium when you drunk. We've ingested this culture so much so to the point where I believe they may be terminal alcoholics, if that's even a word or a term, where they're so far gone to stop ingesting this culture may be such a shock to the system that their system can't handle it. The same parallel of the scene in The Matrix where the guy was like, well, we got to keep them plugged in, because if we unplug them, their brain can't handle it. Wow. So let's say, okay, you stop drinking abruptly, right? And this will happen when the illusion of society falls apart. You ever been around someone, or such as myself, and I know this person, who's coming off of alcohol? You're weak. Your thoughts don't, you know what I mean, are all over the place. You know what I'm saying? You're shaky. You're really not good for anything. And then as you get over, I guess, the initial withdrawal, now you're faced with the reality of your bad decision, because you don't have the drink or the culture to keep you in delusion. So now you're instantly hit with reality. So now you're instantly hit with reality. And that's a lot in and of itself. Then you have to walk every day, relearning, unlearning over a period of time to become a better person. They might be too far gone. You know what I'm saying? You know, like someone drank so much so that the effects are irreversible. And I'm not pronouncing judgment. I just say in mass, this might be what we're faced with. Because in my personal, like I say, I listen to a lot of manosphere content, whoop whoop, right? And I understand the brothers, right? These women are easy, you know what I'm saying? I've personally done it, but for me to operate in that manner, like I really don't want to sleep with no woman that I don't enjoy being around or talking to. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go up me. I don't care how good you look. You know what I'm saying? But if these people are inwardly devoid, there's nothing for me to connect to. That way, I don't want to connect with you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's more the sex than just the body. And that's why a lot of brothers or sisters or whatever for that matter be having all these emotional and mental issues because you sleep with people who got mental and emotional issues. Sex should be uplifting and empowering. But if you notice, especially with like the black one who, get ran through or give themselves away thinking it's empowering, as time goes on, they actually lose power. The only thing they can hang their hat on is the fact they go work for somebody else. But that's not fulfilling because that's not really a woman's nature to work in that manner. Now, to work for the benefit of the family, the husband, XYZ, woo, woo. So you'll see like the who might have an air of confidence or whatever. But if you get to know them, and I've seen people like when I start digging deep, you know what I'm saying? It's like they'll try to like reject it, block it, whatever, because there's nothing there and they don't want to face it. Yo, it's real in the battlefield, Carl. And I used to wonder, like, because I'm a pro-black guy, right? And at some point in my journey, I stopped finding black women attractive. I'm like, yo, I never thought I'd see the day. But a lot of times my spirit be perceiving stuff that my conscious mind ain't caught up to. My spirit and the average modern woman's spirit don't align. That would be unequally yoked. And I don't feel the need to talk to you because I know it's nothing there for the most part. Or you'll do the chameleon thing and play a certain role, but I won't see in your behavior or in your recent past. You know what I'm saying? So I'm damn near monk mode by default because now that I value myself, I'm not doing anything that's not conducive to me. That don't mean nobody gotta be perfect or woo-de-woo. Actually, I'm just looking for femininity. Like I can see little, I don't know, white girls or whatever who ain't built like nothing, and I'm more physically attracted to them than I would be some, sister who's built like a brick house. Because I'm actually drawn to the energy and the aura. You know what I'm saying? So for me, and it's just for me, like going out here and playing the field, for what? The field is barren. And I don't feel, and it's too much of a liability, and I've witnessed this personally. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I mess with you, and then you playing games, like overly. I understand they're gonna do a little whoop whoop, but the mind games I ain't got time for that, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy how everything's inverted because now that sex has gotten so easy to get, I don't want it like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to build, and anything that's not conducive to build, it ain't no sense for me. Ain't no sense of fooling with it. You know what I'm saying? I can carry on casual, cordial conversation, all that, but letting people the modern one on the other side of the fence understand this thing spiritually, you'll actually come to despise me, or because you're so broken, you'll get an ego boost if you're well, I ain't shit, but I see this man who's on his shit, and if I can get him off his shit, that'll make me feel better about me. That's how jacked up this is. That's how fucked up these people are spiritually, yo. And now I'm starting to intellectually understand what's taking place in the physical realm from a spiritual aspect. Like I noticed, like even in my personal, I really don't do a lot of social events, or because I don't. It's not. my spirit not in it. My spirit is really not working working for no 9 to 5 job. And I have no problem working. I'm a great worker, whatever. It just bring and I don't want to do nothing that's gonna bring my spirit down. I'd rather live in a tent and deal with the uncomfortability of that, and go to Planet Fitness shower to keep, because that's what's valuable, the essence of who you are. Now I understand why the adversary wants your soul so bad, because it's valuable. But then he convinces you with other things that it's not valuable, so you sell it to him for cheap. And that's what then happened. And with that, I'm signing off, cuz. Oh, ah!